Thanks again for joining us today, everybody. I'm TJ Swires with Diverse Controls, and we are here to talk about a product that we created called Scout. And so we're just going to dive right in. So Scout's a search tool. It's made to kind of give you the ability to almost like a Google search inside of your building. So if you want to find information, it makes it very simple to look through. So your navigation process workflow can all be enhanced with Scout. It works with all third-party BACnet compatible Niagara systems, 4.10 and up for Workbench and web. And we do also have web-only versions available for 4.6 through 4.9. So what does it do? Scout allows us to search by point names, point display names, and tags. You can set, override, and auto or release override on all of your points. You have the ability to multi-edit points of the same type. So that allows you to make a lot of very large, quick changes to multiple systems, rooms, floors, however you want to use that system. And then you also are able to quickly search for fault, overridden, or stale points. And the ability to export those points to a text file as you see fit. So what's the benefit to a controls contractor or a system integrator? This can help enhance your customer support. So your employees will be able to get through the system faster, find what they need, make changes on the fly. And there's no need for additional design. So if somebody's on an older system or one that was maybe poorly designed, or you took something over from someone else, it's not your standard, this can be added to really help speed up finding data through for your customers. And reach out to us if you want to become a reseller, because we do have some options to make that a revenue stream for other vendors. How does this help the end customer or the facilities operator? So this gives you the ability to easily search for control temps, faults, stales, overrides. The multi-edit, as I mentioned before, allows you to do big changes to lots of systems all at once. So if you have an event or a party or something where you want to change the temperature down a little bit because you're going to have a lot of people in that room, that's pretty abnormal, you could change the whole office all at once, or all the rooms that people will be in very easily. And then once that event is completed, you can release that override on all those rooms. So just one example of many things that you can do here. And we do have very intuitive search results, so it's going to be easy to see what changes are being made and undo or modify parts of the system. So for return on investment, we just kind of threw together some simple math numbers. Obviously, put in your own numbers for your own site. But let's say somebody makes 100K per year in facilities, and they save 20 minutes a day by using Scout to find their way through systems and make changes as needed to keep everybody happy, all of your customers or your employees or whatever kind of building you serve. That comes out to about $80 a week in efficiencies that you've gained, where that person can spend their time on more valuable stuff. Obviously, if that's per employee, so if you have 10 employees, then multiply by 10. But put in your own numbers there, and maybe it's only saving some people 5 minutes a day, maybe it's saving you an hour. So just some basic information there to understand it. So it's easier to see than it is to talk about through a presentation. So we will also demo our product. So let's just go ahead and pull up Scout and see it in action. Okay, so Scout is located in Services, Azimuth, and Scout. And just a heads up here, in order to see the widget, the user does need admin read write or RW for their role. And we might have updates in the future that give better access to that. So there's multiple ways to search. Scout can search by point name, display name, point tags, device names. And when you're searching for like a name or display name, it does allow partial search terms. And so you could put FA and you'd be able to find your fans, or if you mistype, you miss the R in room, OOM will still find room temperature. You are able to search for multiple points by separating search terms with a semicolon, and that does need to be directly against it with no space. So you'll see it does not search multiples unless the space is gone. So you put that all in there, and you can do multiple search, and you can do more than 2 or 3 if you need to. All right, we do also have the ability to search for every point in the BACnet network just by leaving the search field empty. So that's just a wildcard, and that will search the whole place. If you have a big station with a lot of points, this can take a little while. So keep that in mind. Another functionality that Scout has is the ability to search for faults, stales, overridden. So you can just type in what you're looking for and get a list of those types of points that fall under those categories. Toggling the search devices button. That will make Scout only search for devices, and it's similar to the default search. So again, partial search terms will work perfectly fine in this mode as well. If you are toggling the search tags, then that will make Scout look through the points tags. It does take longer by default because it's going through all tags for all points. So just be aware of that. That's why that's off by default, because it is a little quicker without it. But when you do need to search by tags, it does not allow partial search terms. So instead, it's going to use the directory. So you'll need to put in standards such as HS for haystack and for Niagara, or your own custom dictionaries will work right out of the box. As you can see, this is our custom dictionary, and there's no special programming there other than just our tags. If you toggle both search devices and search tags, it will search the associated devices that match that. For now, we'll just stick with the default search back to searching for all points. That gives us a view of everything that we have set up today for the demo, so that we can go over what all this information on this page means. So looking at each result, we'll see a status strip on the left-hand side there. It's color-coded so that you can see at a quick glance if there's something wrong or if everything's in good shape. So green's okay, red is fault or down, yellow would be a stale point. And if you hover over it, you'll notice that it does give you a description of any information that is related to that point and why it's that color. If we go just to the right, you'll see that there's a status. And so B for Boolean and numeric, E is an enum, or S for string. And we did try to color code similar to what Niagara uses in other screens and menus. Next to that, we have the point display name and the device name underneath that. After that, you'll see an icon that shows that the point, if it is not writable, you'll see this icon here. So it's very easy to identify that you cannot make changes to that point. And then next we have the points value. So all the way on the right side, you'll see the value listed there, and it will show the priority array as well, and it's also colored purple when the point is overridden, so that there's a clear visual indicator to let you know any points that are in override. It is possible to double click on the point. That will give you the points view if you have a view set up. If you do not have a view set up, it brings you the property sheet. And so that's an easy way to get around and make changes in your system. In the top, you'll notice in the center, this is where you change the points values. So the values are changed based upon what point type is selected. If you do multiple points in order to make a change, you'll notice the error on the top of the screen if the points are not the same type. That way, you do not have the ability to put junk data in there. You can only make changes like a group change to points that can accept that type of information. Multiple points can be selected with standard options. This is similar to other programs with shift click, grabs everything in between, or control will allow you to toggle on or off individual selections. Once you have the points selected, you can go ahead and enter the value at the top. So you can either set or override. Auto will ignore the values that you've entered, and it will release the overridden value. So that basically clears out any changes that you've made. EMER buttons are the emergency override and emergency auto. They're only available to administrative users. So if you are not an administrative user, those will not show up for you. And then lastly, as I mentioned before, there's the ability to export. So anything that's showing in your search results is able to be exported with that button. And the exports will just become a text file underneath files, Azimuth and Scout. So, and we're happy to take any questions at the end, but that is Scout in a nutshell. So thanks everybody, and Bob, back to you.